This week on The Real Housewives of Dubai.
I may not be married, and Taleen, you fucking begging ass bitch, I have all of your messages. You're a beggar. I have an ex-husband too. Okay.
Right now. You're a beggar. You were
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Dubai. That's season 2, episode 8. This was a supersized episode full of drama. So let's get right into it. Alright, so Ayana's getting ready for her party. Her sister is there, and she's so pretty. They're all pretty, and Ayana's so happy and excited for this launch, and her brother is there as well. So having a huge, successful event and having your siblings there with you along with your son and husband, it's a very special moment for Ayan. There is this beautiful gown made for Ayan. It had a 7-foot train, and it was like Egyptian goddess vibes. It was amazing. And the party starts right away at the beginning of the episode. Everyone begins arriving. Stanbury is still a little annoyed at Sara because Sara and Stanbury and Sergio have always been super close. So she doesn't get why Sara is taking Brooks' side all of a sudden. So then the models start coming out. The theme was definitely like Egyptian. And it was giving more fashion show than it was giving makeup. But when Ayan came out in that gown, y'all, this was iconic. And guess who was late and missed the show? Lesa, Milan, and Caroline Brooks. That sucks, and I would be mad. Also, Caroline Brooks brings a friend with her. Maybe because she didn't want to feel uncomfortable. So then everyone's sitting around, and the cast is sitting together. Rafi says, hey, to Brooks, and says, like, what have you been up to? But Brooks's response are very dry. It's just like, I've been working. Good. Yeah. Okay. So then he and Sergio get up and leave. Ayan then comes in with a different outfit change, and she says thank you for all of them for being here to support her. Even if they came late, they are forgiven. Now, Brooks and Lesa making excuses for everything instead of just owning it. So then Sara and Sergio get together, and they really like each other, and Sara says, I miss you. And she says that they are like brother and sister, and they don't want it to be awkward because of the Stanbury situation. So after the desert, actually, Sara and Stanbury did meet, but that didn't really go super well. They didn't really fix their issues, so it's still a little weird. But Sergio and Sara do miss each other, and they hope that they can resolve this situation soon. Brooks and Taleen also exchanged some words. So Brooks did apologize to Taleen because Taleen had texted her things that were bothering her. So I thought that was nice, and I think Taleen really appreciated that apology. Chanel introduces her siblings to the girls, and Sara says that she's going to introduce her German man to her family now. And then Chanel gives a speech. She says, coming from the village where she came from, she would have never imagined that she would end up here by the Burj Khalifa. So her makeup is ready to be bought now. Chanel Beauty. I did think it was very shady that Brooks was incapable of giving Chanel any credit in her confessional. She kept giving credit to the people who help Ayan, but not Ayan. Messy. But it was a great event, and I do give credit to Chanel Ayan. I'm so proud of her. Okay, so the next day, Brooks, Lesa, and Sara go to a restaurant. Brooks is talking about how she has done this wonderful, mindful, and spiritual restart. Whatever. Stanbury invited them all to her housewarming party, so they talk about that a little. And then the girls want to know what's going on with Brooks and Taleen. Brooks says that she had called Taleen a beggar. This was the day when they had that fight, that very first time outside in that restaurant. So Lesa says, well, what did she beg you for? And Brooks says, oh, well, she begged me for a lot. She wanted to be in this group so much. Lesa says, oh, well, you apologize, so everything's good, right? Brooks is like, well, I was defending her against Stanbury, and now they're super close. Listen, Caroline Brooks is exhausting. So she's saying that she apologized to Taleen for calling her a beggar, but she's basically saying that she is a beggar. In the next scene, we see Chanel trying to pull a little wagon in the sand at the beach. She had a picnic with her siblings, and they're eating and just reminiscing on the childhood memories that they had. They tell her that they are so proud of the event, and Chanel says that she really wants Chanel Beauty to also be an initiative against FGM. Chanel says that all of them did a great job on being parents, and family is just the most important thing. So it was a wonderful scene of the three siblings together. Then Lisa and her husband go on a date. Now, as much as I don't like Lisa, I can't deny that she does have this rich, classy aesthetic to her. She says that they try and have date nights at least once a week. The conversation is basically about her feeling all this pressure on being a good mom, wanting to be a good wife, wanting to be a good businesswoman. He tells her that she is great at all of those things, and then she starts to cry. Her husband asks if there's anything that he could help her more in, and she says, yeah, she could definitely help her with the boys having to go to football practices 5 days a week. So then the next scene is another hanging out. This time it's Lisa, Ayan, Stanbury, and Taleen. So they're chit chatting. Lisa talks about the cash trip that they're gonna go to Bali. Lisa organized it with Sara and Brooks, and they're calling it Eat, Pray, Party. Lisa says that she will be in charge of the food, Sara of the prayer, and Brooks of the party. Taleen says that she's so glad Brooks apologized. So then messy Lisa becomes the bone carrier. And she says, oh yeah, I asked her why she apologized to you. And she said to me, I apologized for calling her a beggar, but she actually is. And that made Taleen really shocked and very hurt and very mad. She says that she's been friends with Brooks for 9 years and she has never seen this side of her. Alright, so then it is a new day, and it is time for Caroline and Sergio's housewarming party. It's the house is much more ready now. It's their first home. It's her first home in the Middle East, so they want to celebrate. Caroline does tell Sergio about her conversation with her daughter Jasmine, and they really are trying to better their dynamic. The house looks so much better now with all the furniture and everything else, and everyone begins to arrive, and here comes Brooks with another stray that she found. And a thing of sage. Listen, you ain't gonna come into my house with that witchcraft. But anyway, they then sit around for dinner. Also, there was a little shady comment made by Ayan where she claims that Michael, Caroline's friend, pays for all of Caroline and Sergio's bills. I don't know about that. But Caroline and Sergio give some words, and then the guests ask about the baby room, and Caroline says she still doesn't know about the baby. And then the group brings up the cash trip. Lisa says that she's got the food handled. Brooke says that she's got the clubs. But no one wants to pray, which is Sarah's job. And Caroline Stanbury makes a nasty comment about no one wants to pray at a vacation. And Sara says, well, it's okay, some people don't want to pray because they need an exorcism. So then Taleen and Stanbury begin talking about them hanging out the other night. And Brooks was getting pissed about this, and she kept whispering things to Sara about Taleen, calling her fake. She kept saying fake, fake, fake. And she used me to get with my friends. And this is the reason why I think Sara is the biggest con artist. She's all about spirituality, being nice, having peace, and this and that. But she's sitting there allowing Brooks to call someone fake, fake, fake. Girl, bye. I don't want no more lectures from you with your virtual signaling. But anyway, Taleen can hear this. She can hear Brooks saying fake, fake, fake. So she says, what's fake, Brooks? And Brooks' response is, I'm not talking to you. Then Brooks gets up and she goes next to the other girls and literally starts talking crap about Taleen. And Taleen is sitting right there, literally listening to them. And I hate that. I hate when someone is being singled out like that, because it was just Taleen in the chair. She could see Brooks whispering to all of them about herself. So as the people are beginning to leave, Taleen tells Stanbury what just happened. So Stanbury tells Brooks, and Brooks says, well, I wasn't calling her fake, even though she was. Liar. Then Taleen says, well, you told Lisa that I'm a beggar. And Lisa says, yes, you did, Brooks. You told me she's a beggar. You told me that Taleen begged you for everything. Brooks is trying to explain, and Rafi says, correct yourself. You're my girl, but correct yourself. So Taleen leaves. She says, you're the fake one. You're the one causing all the problems, and you're an alcoholic. Taleen was very upset. She was like, her husband had to stop her and tell her, and was telling her to breathe. But then, they had already exited. Then Brooks approaches them again and says to Taleen, quit drinking. What? How are you, the drunk, telling someone else to quit drinking? So naturally, Rafi says stop, because Taleen was very upset already, and here comes Brooks coming at her again. Rafi says, you're doing a lot. Don't throw my wife under the bus. Taleen says, are you challenging my husband? Brooke says, "Is your husband challenging me?" Taleen says, "No, he's my husband. He's defending his wife. Where's your husband? You don't got one." And at this point, Rafi's mad. He says, "You better shut your effing mouth. I don't give an F about these cameras." The funniest thing, though, I will say, was Stanbury literally having to grab Sergio and physically pulling him down and telling him not to get involved. But to be fair, he made a good point. Brooks was causing a ruckus out there. So then as they're leaving, they are out in the street and Brooks is screaming her ass off, cussing Rafi and Taleen out, and they're responding as well. And Brooks says, "You are a beggar. You beg for everything I have." Taleen says, "You were all my wardrobe last season." Now, here's the thing. You can't do that in Dubai. Police will come and you will be arrested when you're acting a fool and drunk in public. And that was the end of the episode. Let me say this. I'm so disappointed in Brooks. If y'all go back to my first episode, I literally said Brooks was my favorite, and she's been disappointing me so much this season. About Rafi, here's the thing. I'm sure there's gonna be people calling him a bitch, calling him gay, saying that he shouldn't be involved, this and that. What I will give to these people is that I do agree that he got a little too aggressive when he started talking about "I don't give an F about the cameras." That was a little too much. But I will not condemn him for defending his wife. Any man on this planet who loves his wife, because there's men like Bill Aiden, we're not talking about him, we're talking about men that actually love their wife. They're never going to stand there and allow their wife to be mistreated that way. It's not going to happen. And if your husband does that, I'm sorry, he probably doesn't love you. And it's not about women business, it's not about men, it's about someone coming after the person you love. I don't care if it's man, woman, whatever it is. So yeah, he could have toned it down a little bit, but you know what? I give him props for standing up for his wife, because this crazy woman was coming at her for no damn reason. And most of the people that are like bashing him are probably single women that don't have husbands. So who cares? But anyway, you guys, this was the episode. Really explosive, really dramatic. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on next time. You have a great one. Bye.